Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. I'm out at the Department of Trade Consumer Protection with my favorite consumer protection person, Michelle.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
Happy Mother's Day.
Well, thank you.
It's coming up.
I have a pup, so that's great.
It wouldn't matter even if you didn't. It just has to work for this segment. Today we're going to be talking about a piece you guys put out about flower vendors. A lot of people looking to get flowers for all the moms out there, and that comes with some risk. There's been some scams, unfortunately, around some vendors. But why don't you break this down a little bit of what you guys have seen when it comes to flower sales and scams?
So we want consumers to think about this two different ways, whether or not they are here in Wisconsin and purchasing flowers for a parent or friend, family, loved one who's out of state, and someone who is from out of state wanting to purchase here, so passing the word along to others. But what we're talking about here is trying to do business with somebody local, or knowing actually the business that you are doing business with, but yet when you open the phone book or look online, you think you're getting a local florist, and really you are finding somebody who may coordinate the purchase that you're making, who's from another state, maybe from the East Coast or somewhere else, and they happen to be using the town name with the word florist or flowers, or they are picking up local phone numbers that would then indicate that they're from the community. And really, they aren't here. They have no presence. They have no connection. So it's one of those situations where there could be a misrepresentation. And if it's important to you to be doing business with somebody local, then you don't want to be deceived by that information. We don't want consumers to be deceived ever, but we certainly don't want it when it's really an important factor in their decision making.
So what the big question would be is how do we get through figuring out if it's real or if it's not? And you guys got some good tips here.
Right. So often you will just see very vague information in the promotion or ad, maybe the name and that local phone number. So one thing to do when you call is ask for their specific location, and then you can do a Google Map search to see what's really there. Another thing that you can do is ask their hours, because you want to come in and look at their selection to see if they really have a storefront. Follow through on that representation that they're making, whether you're really going to go in there and look at the flowers or not. Also ask what time of day they make deliveries and how many trucks they have available, because if they're just a coordinator, they're not really going to know that information. They're not going to know the community that they're even delivering to, because they're finding somebody else to put the flowers together for you. If you're dealing with another location, ask what flowers are in season for that part of the country type situation.
Yeah, I bet you that one sinks it right there.
Absolutely. That can be an issue when you're talking Wisconsin versus Florida versus Hawaii, what selection you're going to get at certain times of year. And then another thing is ask them if there's any public spaces that they actually either have flowers on display or provide arrangements for, and that could be community settings, maybe a museum, maybe a library, or some other venues, law firms and things where they may do the arrangements. If they're not connected in any way or can't think of any local spaces, they may really have no connection to that community as well. If they just kind of pause at that question and give you a stutter, in response. So they're dumbfounded by it.
Sure.
So those are all, key questions you can be asking and identifying if they really are local.
As far as reports go on that, when are people discovering then that they've been something's not right? Is it at that delivery point? Like
Sure.
Where are we hearing about this then? At what stage?
So we have heard from consumers filing complaints on this and other industries in a similar venue when it comes to receiving the product. So the mother may receive the product, and some flowers are under warranty, really, that they'll last or live for a few days and be very vibrant, but they fall apart, and so you call to get a new delivery and there's no one there to follow through on, or there's no way to go exchange those flowers or have new ones delivered that same day, depending upon what that warranty is. So that's one way that consumers find out. The others may be through the billing, the credit card statement. When that comes through, it's not associated with the business. And we are talking something different than the, different you know you're buying flowers at a distance, the distance delivery
Right.
flower shops. This is something different than that.
And do we hear that our local flower shops maybe team up with large ones? Like, could we find that out by calling in? Is that something that the consumer could do to find out, like they also work with,
Right.
X flower company of...
Right. No, they are. A number of flower shops will go with associations or others to be connected as a community of florists, and often you can find a reputable florist in another community by calling a local, because there's conventions and venues and all sorts of things where they do have a connection and an association.
Yeah, I think that would just be the better route of, again, trying to confirm if it's real and you're going to get it and get it. And then are people being scammed as far as money wise here in the exchange? Is there any funny business, I guess, would you say,
Right.
On that part of it?
Yeah, as it comes to purchasing your arrangements, you want to make sure you know what you're purchasing. So if the arrangement is for $50, how much of that is for the vase? How much will be filler flowers? What will that arrangement look like? How much is the delivery fee? You really want to know what it is you're purchasing. So ask those questions. Be sure that you have that conversation and aren't disappointed with the arrangement once it's delivered and you know where your money is going.
If folks want to learn, submit a complaint, find out more information, I'm looking on the website here, and there's just so many resources under shopping alone. But if people want to learn more about preventing or having something happen to them here come
Right.
Mother's Day, what would you recommend?
If consumers need to file a complaint, look at our fact sheet, research something ahead of time, go to datcp.wi.gov or call 1-800-422-7128.
All right, Michelle, thank you as always for going through this. Appreciate it. And don't get scammed this Mother's Day. Make sure those flowers show up or Mom's going to be upset.
Absolutely.
Or in your case, the pup.
That's right.
That's all right. All right,
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break. You are watching Talking Fitchburg.